So the youngest generation entering the workforce, Generation Z, is well prepared to use generative AI at work.
If you ain't paying that my bills, then I ain't shaking that bill. How you gonna pay my bills? 1-800 boy, show your card.
New Gen Z graduates are fluent in AI and ready to join the workforce. They're using AI tools for tasks such as writing, editing, code checking, and financial management. And while Gen Z may see AI as valuable, they still also have concerns about its implications.
So the youngest generation entering the workforce, Generation Z, is well prepared to use generative artificial intelligence, AI, at work. It seems like they've been using AI to explore its capabilities even before joining the workforce.
That's right. It's interesting to see how Gen Z has grown up with digital devices and services from an early age. They're comfortable with technology and open to exploring new technologies like AI. In fact, they're often referred to as the first digital native generation.
Absolutely. And this familiarity with technology has allowed them to leverage generative AI in various ways. Many Gen Z graduates have used AI tools like ChatGPT from OpenAI to help them with tasks like writing cover letters, editing essays, checking code, and even managing their finances.
It's impressive to see how generative AI has become integrated into their lives and education. Some universities are even incorporating it into their curriculum rather than banning it due to fears of cheating. For example, a writing class at Arizona State University explored generative AI and discussed its benefits and limitations.
Right. And it seems like Gen Z sees AI as a valuable resource rather than a threat. They recognize that while AI can assist with tasks, it still requires human input and creativity to truly excel. They understand that AI can save time and help them build new skills.
Definitely. However, it's worth noting that some Gen Z individuals do have concerns about the implications of AI. They worry about things like the spread of misinformation, job displacement, and the potential for employers to prioritize cost-cutting over quality work.
Despite these concerns, it seems like Gen Z is embracing AI and taking a proactive approach to learning how to use it effectively. They understand that AI is here to stay and believe that learning to use it now will bring them numerous benefits in the future.
How does AI affect kids? Psychologists weigh in and discuss the impact of artificial intelligence on children's relationships, highlighting both the positive and negative effects and emphasizing the importance of using AI technology to enhance, rather than replace, human interaction.
Today, we're talking about the impact of artificial intelligence on children, specifically in terms of their relationships with AI chatbots and companions.
That's right. Children can form deep connections with inanimate objects, like teddy bears. And now, with AI chatbots becoming more lifelike and interactive, this phenomenon is taking on a whole new level.
Psychologist Banu Kellner, founder of the Superhuman Society, explains that AI chatbots can give children exactly what they want to hear, which may lead them to form stronger bonds with these AI companions than with real humans.
That's a significant problem because it could prevent children from learning how to navigate complex human relationships. Kellner emphasizes the importance of ensuring that AI products help children develop life skills, particularly social skills, rather than replacing human interactions altogether.
Yes, and there are several notable companies that are incorporating artificial intelligence into education and entertainment for children. For example, there's Pinwheel GPT, a kid-safe artificial intelligence chatbot designed for children aged 7 to 12, which generates age-appropriate responses.
And let's not forget about Camigo, a chatbot that mimics historical figures to interact with students on the Khan Academy learning platform. These examples show how AI is being used to engage and educate children.
However, there are concerns about the long-term effects of relying solely on AI for companionship and therapy. Then there's the epidemic of loneliness in Western countries and how some people have turned to AI companions and chatbots to address their mental health concerns.
Psychotherapist Roby Ludwig emphasizes that while AI chatbots can offer instant support, they cannot replace the nuanced and empathetic care provided by human therapists. It's important not to neglect the depth of emotional support required for certain conditions.
Absolutely. And there are also ethical concerns surrounding AI's influence on children.
It raises questions about the responsibility of tech companies in building safe and secure AI technologies. As psychologist Banu Kellner points out, these companies often capitalize on our brain's wiring to keep us hooked on social media platforms, which can disproportionately impact children.
The bottom line is that AI has the potential to greatly impact children's lives, both positively and negatively. It's crucial that we guide parents in using AI technology to benefit and add value to their children's lives, rather than becoming a replacement for human interaction.
3 ways to get ChatGPT to write like you.
Today is all about using AI to generate text in a specific voice. Jessa Gamble is a professional ghostwriter who specializes in making a unique voice come through in writing.
That's right. They tried 3 different methods to generate text in a specific voice and evaluated how well they worked.
The first approach they tried was feeding an AI tool called ChatGPT an excerpt of existing text and asking it to write about a topic in the same style as the example given. They used a book that Jessa had ghostwritten as an example.
And the results were impressive. ChatGPT was able to generate sentences that closely matched the style of the example text. It even came up with resonant phrases that weren't in the sample.
However, they found that the length of the writing sample was important. When they tried using a smaller single paragraph sample, the results fell short. Jessa explained that voice doesn't come across in just a single paragraph because you need more volume for pattern recognition.
That's true. And if you don't have any written content to use as an example, you can use transcripts of speeches or conversations instead. ChatGPT can help clean up those transcripts and generate text in a specific voice based on that.
Another approach they tried was providing some information about yourself, like an autobiography, to nudge ChatGPT toward your writing style. They shared the client's occupation, location, life experiences, and personality traits.
But they found that ChatGPT heavily relied on stereotypes when incorporating these details into the text. While there were some gems, it would still require quite a bit of editing.
The third method they explored was describing the voice they wanted ChatGPT to emulate. They incorporated 10 descriptive words that captured the unique characteristics of the voice.
And they found that specifically describing the voice gave the best results. However, it's important to note that human intervention is still required, and the process of working with AI tools like ChatGPT is something that writers will need to develop and refine.
Absolutely. It's all about finding the best approach that works for you and your writing style. And as you continue to collaborate with AI in your writing journey, you'll learn how to use the tools effectively for your specific use cases.
How you gonna pay my bills?
Jobs to vanish by 2027. Jobs and industry will be affected by the rise of AI. Hello AI. Jobs to vanish by 2027. How various jobs and industries will be affected by the rise of AI and the need for reskilling and finding new avenues for employment in the AI era.
One of the first areas that will be affected by the rise of AI is administrative and clerical positions. Tasks like data entry, appointment scheduling, and basic administrative duties can now be efficiently handled by AI-powered tools and software. This means that there will be a reduced demand for human workers in these traditional administrative roles.
That's right. The advancements in AI technology have made it possible for robots and automation to take over routine manufacturing and assembly jobs as well. By 2027, we can expect to see a further decline in these roles as more companies adopt AI-driven production lines. Robots can perform repetitive tasks with precision and speed, reducing the need for human labor in these roles.
Customer service representatives are also at risk of being replaced by AI-driven chatbots and virtual assistants. As AI language processing and natural language understanding capabilities improve, these virtual agents will become increasingly sophisticated in handling customer queries and complaints. This could potentially lead to a decrease in demand for human customer service representatives.
That's true. The article also mentions that telemarketers and sales representatives may see a decrease in demand due to AI-driven algorithms and machine learning techniques. These technologies can analyze vast amounts of customer data and predict consumer preferences and buying patterns, allowing for targeted marketing and sales efforts without the need for human intervention.
Another role that may be affected is data entry specialists and analysts. AI technologies like optical character recognition, OCR, and automated data extraction are becoming more proficient at processing and organizing large amounts of data. As AI takes over these tasks, the demand for manual data entry specialists may diminish. Additionally, AI-powered data analysis tools can perform complex analytics tasks, limiting the need for human analysts in some cases.
And let's not forget about bank tellers. With the increasing popularity of online and mobile banking, the need for traditional bank tellers has already started to decline. AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants can now handle basic banking queries and transactions without the need for physical presence, leading to a further reduction in bank teller jobs.
Lastly, taxi and truck drivers may also face potential job loss due to the advent of self-driving vehicles and autonomous drones. While complete automation of transportation may not be achieved by 2027, there will likely be a gradual transition towards autonomous vehicles, which could decrease the demand for human taxi and truck drivers.
It's important to note that while AI technology brings numerous benefits and opportunities to society, certain jobs will vanish or undergo significant changes as AI becomes more prevalent. Jobs involving repetitive tasks, data processing, and basic customer service are particularly vulnerable to automation by AI-driven solutions.
That's right. To prepare for this transformation, it is crucial to invest in reskilling and upskilling programs, foster a collaborative approach between humans and machines, and find new avenues for employment that harness the full potential of AI in enhancing our lives.
We need a holiday if we took a holiday.
This is already way beyond what humans can do. Will AI wipe out architects? We're looking at how artificial intelligence is already impacting the field of architecture.
Today, we're diving into the world of architecture and how artificial intelligence is already revolutionizing the industry. The promises and perils of AI have been making waves in recent months, but what many people don't realize is that the revolution is already underway.
That's right. AI is already being used to shape the real world of architecture, and it's having far-reaching consequences. Image-making tools like DALL-E, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion have made it easy to create stunning visualizations of architectural designs. We can now envision skyscrapers in the style of Frank Lloyd Wright or fantasy mashups of sci-fi and Art Nouveau.
It's entertaining to think about architects from the past using AI to design, but the real impact of AI in architecture goes beyond just creating pretty images. The most significant change is in the automation of the entire design process, from initial options to construction. According to Neil Leach, author of Architecture in the Age of Artificial Intelligence, AI is already capable of strategic thinking and real-time analysis that surpasses human architects' capabilities.
Absolutely, and one company at the forefront of architectural AI is xKaol. Founded by Won-Yu He in 2016, xKaol aims to revolutionize the industry by using AI to assist with everything from generating master plan layouts to designing interiors and construction details. They've even developed a tool that can transform a two-dimensional image of a building into a three-dimensional model.
That's impressive, but it's still early days for xKaol and other AI-driven architectural tools. As technology continues to advance, we can expect more refined and sophisticated designs from AI.
While the potential for AI in architecture is exciting, there are also concerns. Martha Sikari, head of applied research and development at Foster Plus Partners in London, warns about the potential misuse of data. She emphasizes the importance of knowing what data was used to train AI models and ensuring data privacy and intellectual property protections.
Sikure and her team have been exploring machine learning for the past 5 years, using their own secure servers and data from Foster Plus Partners' extensive library of projects. They've been able to use AI to experiment with thermally responsive laminate materials in facades, allowing them to change shape based on temperature. Imagine a facade that could passively deform to create layovers or overhangs for shading different parts of a building.
It's amazing what AI is enabling us to do in terms of calculations and predictive modeling. Sikari's team has also developed a simulation engine that provides real-time analysis of floor plans, giving designers instant feedback on the implications of moving walls or furniture. This kind of efficiency is impressive, but it also raises questions about the potential loss of serendipity and unplanned elements in architecture.
That's a valid concern. While AI can streamline and optimize the design process, there's a risk of squeezing out the joy of dawdling and the charm of the unexpected. Architecture has always been an art form where human creativity shines through, and we have to be careful not to lose that essence in the pursuit of efficiency.
Absolutely. The possibilities with AI in architecture are immense, but we need to strike a balance between leveraging technology and preserving the human touch. It's important to remember that AI should enhance and complement human creativity rather than replace it entirely.
Well said. It's clear that AI is already making its mark on the architecture industry. We'll continue to keep an eye on this exciting development and see how it shapes the future of design and construction.
Definitely. One interesting way that architects are incorporating AI tools is by using chatbots like ChatGPT to summarize local planning policies and compare materials for insulation, for example. It's a task that would typically be given to a junior architect, but the chatbot makes fewer mistakes and helps streamline the process.
That's right. And another AI tool called Midjourney is being used by architects during the concept phase to brainstorm ideas. It allows architects to quickly generate a range of design options and present them to clients, almost like an instant mood board. This helps facilitate conversations and get the creative process flowing.
Absolutely.
The article raises the question of whether AI could potentially be used to generate cover versions of deceased architects' work. With generative tools becoming more sophisticated, there's a fear that counterfeited classics could flood the market, creating a feedback loop of imitation.
Right. And this leads us to the broader question of how long architects should fear for their livelihoods as AI becomes increasingly advanced. But some experts argue that AI is not meant to replace architects, but rather augment their work. For example, Carl Christensen, co-founder of AI tool Spacemaker, believes that AI should be seen as AI on the shoulder, emphasizing that humans are still in control.
Christensen's perspective is interesting because he points out that AI tools like Forma can rapidly evaluate various factors like sun exposure, wind patterns, noise levels, and energy needs to create the perfect site layout. This kind of technology can be accessible to non-experts and foster an open and collaborative conversation among stakeholders, including municipalities and the public.
Yes, transparency is key. AI tools like Forma can provide multiple options, allowing all parties to see and understand the trade-offs involved. This kind of transparency builds trust and empowers stakeholders to participate in the design process.
Absolutely. And beyond transparency, AI could also help simplify the complex world of planning. Ewan Mills, co-founder of BlockType, an AI-powered tool for developers and planners, believes that AI can reduce land speculation by providing developers with sketch layouts and viability appraisals. It helps them understand what is possible on a site and avoid uncertainties.
Mills envisions a future where developers don't just pay architects for their time, but for their knowledge as well. He suggests that developers could generate a rough layout and then pay to use a particular architect's algorithm. This kind of algorithms as a service approach could revolutionize the way architects monetize their expertise.
It is an interesting concept, but it also raises concerns about reducing architecture to a standardized code. The article mentions how some developments, like the 2012 Olympic Village, were conceived with a standardized chassis, to which architects were invited to add their own dressing. This approach can result in efficient but dreary housing by numbers.
That's true. There needs to be a balance between efficiency and creativity. AI tools should be used as aids, not replacements, to ensure that the unique vision and artistic expression of architects are preserved.
Absolutely. And as the article concludes, architects need to design not just another building, but the future of their profession. Embracing AI can help architects stay relevant and innovative in a rapidly changing world.
Always get the latest AI dope. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks.
There have been fake photos of Donald Trump being arrested.
These technologies, like image generators, raises concerns about widespread harm caused by the misuse of these AI systems.
Regulating AI. 3 experts explain why it's difficult to do and important to get right. From countering misinformation to balancing innovation, we'll explore various approaches.
Today, we're talking about the challenges and importance of regulating artificial intelligence, or AI, how powerful new AI systems can amplify fraud and misinformation, leading to calls for government regulation. But it's not as simple as it sounds.
That's the new generation of generative AI systems that have the ability to create convincing but fictional text and images. For example, there have been fake photos of Donald Trump being arrested and even a chatbot describing a living computer scientist as having tragically died.
These technologies, like image generators DALL-E, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion, as well as text generators Bard, ChatGPT, Chinchilla, and LLM, are now available to millions of people without requiring technical knowledge to use them. This raises concerns about widespread harm caused by the misuse of these AI systems.
Absolutely. With technology companies rolling out these AI systems and testing them on the public, Policymakers are faced with the challenge of determining whether and how to regulate this emerging technology.
One expert mentioned in the article is S. Shyam Sundar, who points out that the reason for regulating AI is not because the technology is out of control, but because human imagination is out of proportion. There's a tendency to let our guard down when machines are performing tasks, which is known as automation bias.
Sundar explains that when a machine is identified as the source of interaction instead of a human, it triggers a mental shortcut called machine heuristic. This belief that machines are accurate and infallible clouds our judgment and leads to an over-reliance on machines. So regulating AI is necessary to ensure that these products deserve our trust and don't exploit it.
Sundar also highlights that AI poses a unique challenge because designers cannot be sure how AI systems will behave. Unlike traditional engineering systems, where engineers know exactly how a product will function, self-driving cars and large generative AI models like GPT-4 and DALL-E 2 are unpredictable.
That's right, thousands of people have been amazed by what these AI models produce in response to their prompts. But even the engineers who developed them can't guarantee what the models will generate. This unpredictability makes it crucial to have regulations in place to address potential misfires and ensure that human sensibilities and welfare are not harmed.
Sundar suggests that AI is more like an infrastructure, like a freeway that can shape human behaviors collectively. But just like a freeway needs mechanisms to tackle abuses like speeding and unpredictable occurrences like accidents, AI systems need regulatory or governance frameworks. These frameworks should include periodic audits and policing of AI outcomes and products.
Sundar does acknowledge that the designers of AI systems can't always be held accountable for mishaps. AI developers need to be creative in envisioning how their systems might behave and anticipate potential violations of social standards and responsibilities. It's a complex task that requires careful consideration.
Definitely. The article emphasizes the need for balance when it comes to regulating AI. While it's important to address the potential harms caused by these powerful technologies, we also need to recognize the limitations of holding designers fully accountable for every mishap.
That's a great point. It's a fine line between ensuring the responsible use of AI and stifling innovation. Striking the right balance will require collaboration between policymakers, industry experts, and AI developers.
Absolutely. And it's also crucial to keep in mind that public awareness and education play a significant role in regulating AI. By understanding the capabilities and limitations of these technologies, individuals can make informed decisions and not blindly trust everything generated by AI systems.
Well said, it's clear that regulating AI is a complex challenge, but an important one to get right. As AI continues to advance and become more integrated into our lives, finding the right balance between regulation and innovation will be crucial.
It's a tricky subject, but an important one as AI continues to advance and impact various industries and sectors.
That's right, regulating AI is no easy feat. In order to do it effectively, you first need to have a clear definition of what AI is and understand the potential risks and benefits associated with it. However, this isn't as straightforward as it may seem. The field of AI is constantly evolving, making it difficult to
AI may be able to warn us before the next pandemic strikes.
EWAD is designed to warn us about dangerous variants in future pandemics.
Nothing here to see, just a kill out me, trying to cut some teeth, trying to figure it out.
AI may be able to warn us before the next pandemic strikes. We're discussing a new AI application called EWAD that can detect dangerous variants in future pandemics.
So, there's a fascinating new AI application called the Early Warning Anomaly Detection System, or EWAD. It has been developed by scientists from Scripps Research and Northwestern University in the U.S.
That's right. EWAD is designed to warn us about dangerous variants in future pandemics. It was tested against actual data from the spread of SARS-CoV-2, and it accurately predicted which new variants of concern would emerge as the virus mutated.
The AI system uses a machine learning method to analyze vast amounts of training data, spot patterns, and develop algorithms. It was fed information about the genetic sequences of SARS-CoV-2 variants, infection rates, and global mortality rate from COVID-19.
And here's the interesting part. The software could detect genetic shifts as the virus adapted even before the WHO officially designated the variants of concern. This early detection could prove crucial in preparing for future pandemics.
Absolutely. The researchers used a technique called Gaussian process-based spatial covariance to predict new data based on existing data. This allows them to understand not just the averages of the data points, but also the relationships between them.
And this AI system doesn't just have applications for predicting future pandemics. It can also help scientists understand more about virus biology, which can lead to improved treatments and public health measures.
Right. So overall, this AI application shows great promise in detecting dangerous variants early on and helping us combat future pandemics more effectively.
Definitely. It's exciting to see how technology can assist us in such critical areas of public health.
The first fully AI-generated drug enters clinical trials in human patients.
So the big news is that a biotech startup called In Silico Medicine has developed the first drug entirely created by artificial intelligence. And it has now entered clinical trials with human patients.
That's right. The drug, called INS-018_055, is being developed as a treatment for a chronic lung disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. This disease can be life-threatening if left untreated and affects around 100,000 people in the United States alone.
What's really impressive is that this drug is not only AI designed, but it also has a novel AI-discovered target and a novel AI-generated design. This means that the whole process from discovery to design has been driven by artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. In Silico Medicine started working on this drug in 2020 with the aim of creating a groundbreaking medicine that can overcome the limitations of current treatments. They have also been focusing on other diseases like COVID-19 and cancer, with 2 other AI-generated drugs in clinical trials.
The current study for the IPF drug is being conducted in China and will last for 12 weeks. If successful, they plan to expand the testing to include 60 subjects at 40 sites in the US and China. And if everything goes well, they hope to have the drug ready for market in the upcoming years.
It's really exciting to see how AI is revolutionizing the drug discovery process. This could potentially lead to more efficient and targeted treatments for various diseases. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on the progress of this drug.
Kenyan moderators decry toll of training of AI models. The exploitative working conditions faced by content moderators in Kenya, who review graphic and harmful content for artificial intelligence programs, and calls for better support and regulation in the industry.
The article we're discussing today sheds light on the exploitative conditions faced by content moderators who review the content that powers artificial intelligence programs.
That's right. One of the former content moderators, Mofat Okenyi, shared his experience and how it has damaged his mental health. He mentioned that he would view up to 700 text passages a day, many of which depicted graphic sexual violence.
Okenyi's story is just one example. The petition filed by the moderators highlights the psychological trauma, low pay, and abrupt dismissal that he experienced while working for Sama, a data annotation services company that contracts with OpenAI.
And it's not just the graphic text they had to review. The moderators also had to deal with images depicting scenes of violence, self-harm, murder, rape, and more. It's troubling that they weren't adequately warned about the brutality of the content they would be reviewing.
Absolutely. The moderators also mentioned that they received little to no psychological support during their time working for Sama. This lack of support exacerbated their trauma. They were paid between $1.46 and $3.74 an hour, which is shockingly low.
When the contract with OpenAI was terminated early, the moderators were left without income and dealing with serious trauma. The article mentions Richard Mathinge and Alex Carew, 2 petitioners who suffered greatly as a result.
It's disheartening to hear about the toll this work took on their lives. Mathinge's team would exchange stories of the disturbing content they had to review at the end of each day, trying to find some solace in sharing their experiences.
And Carew, who used to love DJing and interacting with people, became introverted and had his physical relationship with his wife suffer. This work completely destroyed him.
The responsibility for these exploitative conditions falls on companies like Sama and OpenAI. Sama claims to provide support to its moderators, but the petitioners disagree, stating that the support they received was inadequate.
That's right. Corey Kreider, the director of Foxlove, a non-profit legal NGO supporting the case, pointed out that tech companies like OpenAI and Facebook often distance themselves from the working conditions of content moderators by outsourcing the work.
And it's not just about Sama and OpenAI. The article also mentions the need for legislation to regulate how harmful and dangerous technology work is outsourced in Kenya. The petitioners want existing laws to include exposure to harmful content as an occupational hazard.
It's an important call for change. We need to ensure that workers in these industries are protected and provided with adequate support. The formation of the first trade union for content moderators in Africa is a step in the right direction.
Definitely. And let's not forget that these content moderators play a crucial role in training AI algorithms. They are the ones feeding these algorithms with examples of hate speech, violence, and sexual abuse.
Right? And this work is often performed in countries like Kenya, where there's a large pool of multilingual workers willing to do the job for lower wages. It's essential to address the labor conditions in this industry.
Absolutely. It's a complex issue that requires attention from both companies and governments. We hope that through awareness and advocacy, we can bring about positive change for content moderators.
Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing digital marketing. AI is being used to automate tasks, personalize campaigns, and target ads more effectively than ever before.
You save yourself, I'll save myself this time around. You save yourself.
We're looking at the future of digital marketing and how AI is changing the game. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing digital marketing by automating tasks, personalizing campaigns, and targeting ads more effectively. It also highlights the challenges and future possibilities of AI in marketing.
Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing digital marketing. AI is being used to automate tasks, personalize campaigns, and target ads more effectively than ever before.
That's right. By automating tasks like creating social media posts and managing email campaigns, AI frees up marketers to focus on more strategic activities, such as developing new marketing campaigns and creating high-quality content.
And let's not forget about personalized campaigns. AI can analyze user demographics, interests, and browsing behavior to create targeted ads and content that resonates with individual users. This personalization increases the chances of generating results.
Absolutely. Effective targeting is another significant benefit of using AI in digital marketing. By leveraging user data, businesses can identify the most likely prospects for their products or services, reaching their target audience more efficiently and generating more leads and sales.
However, it's important to note that there are challenges when implementing AI in marketing. It can be expensive to invest in and maintain AI technology. And businesses must also ensure they handle data privacy cautiously to protect user privacy.
That's true. Another challenge is the potential bias in AI algorithms. If the algorithms are trained on biased data, it can result in unfair and inequitable marketing campaigns. Businesses need to take steps to mitigate this bias.
Looking towards the future, AI will continue to evolve and have a major impact on digital marketing. As AI technology develops further, businesses will be able to automate even more tasks, personalize campaigns even more effectively, and target ads even more precisely.
And let's not forget about the exciting possibilities of new forms of marketing like virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, that AI is helping to develop. These immersive experiences can engage customers and promote products and services in innovative ways.
Absolutely. So businesses that embrace AI will be well positioned to succeed in the future of digital marketing.
A new early adopters index examines how corporate America is deploying AI, how companies in the S&P 500 are adopting AI, and the potential impact it could have on business and society as a whole.
The interest in AI is widespread and growing fast, with many firms adopting the technology across various industries.
Many corporate bosses are keen to show how they are using AI to expand profit margins and gain market share.
For example, JP Morgan Chase has 600 machine learning engineers and has put artificial intelligence to work on more than 300 different internal applications.
And Eli Lilly, the pharmaceutical giant, has over 100 projects using artificial intelligence.
Even Howard Schultz, the former boss of Starbucks, planned to invest $1 billion in using artificial intelligence to create the perfect vegan breakfast sandwich.
The article goes on to rank companies using various metrics that capture their AI adoption activity.
The top spots are dominated by Silicon Valley tech firms, with NVIDIA being the highest scoring firm.
The report shows that interest in AI is not just limited to tech firms.
It's growing quickly in data-intensive industries such as insurers, financial services firms, and healthcare providers.
In industries that are already being disrupted by technology, such as car makers, telecoms, media, and retail, are adopting AI quickly too.
However, there are also clear leaders and laggards within industries too.
For example, there are some firms in AI-heavy industries such as insurers and healthcare firms that show no signs of focusing on AI.
One distinguishing factor may be investment. For the top 100 firms of our ranking, the median research and development expenditure as a share of revenue was 11%.
But for those in the lowest 100, it was 0. Additionally, there is a lot of variation within companies.
For example, some divisions of the same multinational may be advanced in using AI, while others have no experience working with AI.
Overall, the potential benefits of AI adoption could be vast, but it must be weighed against the potential risks, such as security concerns and the potential for models to make up information.
We're looking at the dichotomy between the widespread adoption of AI by companies, the hesitancy of others to embrace it, and the efforts being made to improve its diffusion across the economy.
Some companies are really jumping on the AI train. Tech firms and even traditional companies are investing heavily in AI technology. In fact, a drug discovered and designed by AI is already going through human trials in China. Can you believe that?
It's pretty amazing, and investors are taking notice too. The share prices of companies that are embracing AI have risen by 11% since the start of the year. But here's the thing, not all companies are on board yet.
That's right. According to our analysis, there are still 70 firms in the S&P 500 that show no interest in artificial intelligence. And it's not just the big players. Even smaller businesses are hesitant. A recent survey found that a third of small businesses have no plans to try generative AI tools in the upcoming year.
It seems like there's still a long way to go for AI to truly make its mark across the economy. But there are efforts being made to improve diffusion from the best firms to the rest. The OECD has proposed better education, increased business investment, and changes to competition policy as ways to achieve this.
And as technology firms make AI cheaper and easier to use, adoption is likely to speed up. Most companies will adopt AI by default as new AI-powered features are added to their existing software and services.
It's worth mentioning that replacing outdated systems can be costly and complicated for companies. Plus, there are industries heavily regulated by the government where bosses and trade unions may resist new technology out of fear of job losses.
So while AI has incredible potential, the road to widespread diffusion and a productivity boom will be a long one.
American banks dominate AI transformation race. How North American banks are leading the race in transforming banking into an AI-first industry. With larger banks investing in AI talent, research, patents, and partnerships, while smaller banks and credit unions risk falling behind.
So, according to this new report from banking data provider Evident, North American banks are leading the race to transform banking into an AI-first industry.
That's right. The report highlights that banks and smaller fintech competitors without a centralized AI innovation strategy are falling behind their larger bank competitors. The top banks are using AI to be more competitive in areas like high-frequency trading, payments, fraud detection, and marketing.
And it seems like these top banks are really investing in AI talent. The surveyed banks employ 650 AI researchers, with JP Morgan Chase alone hiring more than 40 in 2022.
Absolutely. And when it comes to AI research, patents, and investments, North American banks are leading the way. They published 80% of all bank AI research and made 60% of all bank AI-related investments in 2022. They also filed 99% of all AI-related bank patents in 2021.
It's interesting to see how AI research, patents, and partnerships can help a bank set itself apart with new products and processes. And some banks are even investing in AI startups to gain access to AI innovations.
That's true. But the report also highlights that smaller banks and credit unions are falling behind in AI development and deployment. As customer experiences become increasingly driven by AI, these smaller players could struggle to keep up.
Absolutely. And while European banks are better positioned in early-stage investments in AI companies, it's the North American banks, especially those in the US, that are really dominating the field.
It's clear that maintaining a wait-and-see approach to AI innovation is risky, as the pace at which the leaders are accelerating away from the rest of the field is significant.
Always get the latest AI dope. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks.
The growing anxiety among workers about the impact of artificial intelligence on their jobs and mental health.
Generative AI could impact or even eliminate 300 million jobs.
AI anxiety. We're looking into the growing anxiety among workers about the impact of AI on their jobs and mental health, and concerns about the potential elimination of millions of jobs.
A recent Hot Topic article discusses the growing anxiety among workers about the impact of artificial intelligence, AI, on their jobs and mental health. The launch of ChatGPT has started to transform the workplace, and people are concerned about the rapid growth of this technology.
Professions such as legal assistants, programmers, accountants, and financial advisors are feeling threatened by generative AI that can quickly create human-like prose, computer code, articles, or expert insight. In fact, a study published in March suggests that generative AI could impact or even eliminate around 300 million jobs, according to Goldman Sachs analysts.
That's a significant number. It seems like many workers are worried about their job security. The article highlights the story of Eric, a bank teller who believes his job will become obsolete within the next 10 years. He plans to change careers because his bank is expanding AI research.
Right? And it's not just workers in traditional industries. Even people in creative fields like entertainment professionals are concerned about AI being used in film and television production. They see it as a threat to actors and screenwriters, which is currently causing strikes in Hollywood.
It's interesting how AI is creating an atmosphere of apprehension similar to climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. However, some therapists are encouraging their patients to embrace the unknown and find ways to use new technology to their advantage.
Yes, exactly. The article also mentions a graphic animator who felt threatened when AI-generated images started rivaling human-created ones. This person is now considering transitioning into a management-level role because they believe fewer positions will be available in the future.
It's a difficult situation for many people. Chief Technology Officer Peter Vukovic believes that only 1% or less of the population will benefit from AI, leaving the majority concerned about their future. He questions whether AI should solely be used to automate jobs or if there are other ways to utilize it.
And that's a question we should all consider. How can we best use AI to benefit society as a whole? Is automation the only purpose, or can it be channeled to serve other needs?
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Today we're talking about generative artificial intelligence, also known as AI. This technology has been getting a lot of attention lately, with many people making bold predictions about its impact on society.
That's right. There's been a gold rush around these AI tools like ChatGPT and Stable Diffusion with claims that they can understand and think like humans. But in reality, they don't understand anything at all.
Exactly. These AI systems are designed to generate media, like text or images, rather than actually understand or reason. They may create text that appears to be thinking or reasoning, but it's all just an illusion.
And because of this illusion, many investors and startups have jumped on the bandwagon. Billions of dollars have been invested in generative AI companies with no clear path to monetization.
But here's the danger. These AI systems can have harmful effects. For example, earlier this year, a chatbot designed to replace helpline workers at the National Eating Disorders Association actually encouraged disordered eating behaviors.
That's just one example. Generative AI systems are also prone to producing misinformation, racism, and sexism. They can make up fake cases in the legal field and respond with hateful or abusive speech.
And it's not just workers and consumers who are at risk. Companies that license these tools may unknowingly expose themselves to biases and misinformation. Regulatory censure and fraud are also potential risks.
But there is some pushback happening. The Writers Guild of America is striking against the use of AI in Hollywood studios, knowing that they could be laid off and replaced by AI-generated material.
And artists and computer scientists have created tools to protect their work from being used to train AI models. They're also suing the owners of these AI tools to test the applicability of copyright law.
This resistance sets the stage for regulation. U.S. federal agencies have warned companies not to assume any AI loophole and have asserted their jurisdiction to regulate even automated actions.
We call on regulators across governments to follow their lead and address the identified harms of generative AI. It's important not to be fooled by the hype around artificial intelligence.
The impact of AI on organization design. We're looking at the impact of artificial intelligence, AI, on jobs and organization design, exploring both the optimistic and cautious perspectives on the topic.
So, throughout history, disruptive technologies have often been met with fears of mass unemployment, but these fears have usually been proven wrong. Remember the Luddite fallacy?
Yes, exactly. The Luddite fallacy refers to the mistaken belief that new technologies will lead to widespread job loss. However, history has shown that these technologies actually create more jobs than they eliminate.
That's right, and the optimists argue that AI will continue this trend. It will create more jobs, make jobs more skilled and interesting, enhance job security, and even have a positive impact on physical and mental well-being in the workplace.
Absolutely. AI is expected to lead to a 26% increase in global GDP by 2030. So there are definitely reasons to be cheerful about the impact of AI on jobs.
But there are also reasons to be cautious. The economist William Nordhaus believes that we are still a long way from an economic singularity, where superintelligent machines render humans economically superfluous.
That's true, and there are other concerns as well. For example, AI may displace low-skilled, repetitive work but expand high-skilled work. It may also create a false sense of security and could have a huge impact on trust, especially regarding privacy at work.
Right? And there's also the concern that tools designed to increase efficiency and reduce waste might do so at the expense of personal autonomy. And let's not forget the pressure to be always on because AI never sleeps.
Plus, if we become too dependent on a few tech giants, it could have negative consequences for humanity. So we need to be cautious and consider the implications of AI.
Absolutely. There is the very real need for organizations to adjust in the face of AI. As traditional roles are eliminated and new ones are created, organizations will need to adapt quickly, invest in upskilling and reskilling, and decentralize decision-making power.
And managers will need to demonstrate more judgment-related skills, such as creative thinking and data interpretation. Managerial spans may widen as AI reduces the need for direct supervision, and organizations may become flatter with quicker decision-making and greater innovation.
And finally, it cannot be stressed enough the importance of organizations working together with AI to gain a competitive advantage. It's not about AI coming for your job, but rather someone wielding AI.
That's a great point. So it's important for organizations to embrace AI and make the necessary adjustments to thrive in this new era.
Knowledge-based jobs could be most at risk from AI boom, the potential impact of generative artificial intelligence on workplace productivity, the economy, and job loss.
So according to McKinsey, the rise of generative artificial intelligence, or AI, could bring about a new era of productivity in the workplace. It has the potential to automate up to 70% of an employee's tasks, saving them time and boosting profitability for businesses.
That's right. The consulting firm estimates that integrating generative AI tools into the workplace could add a whopping $4.4 trillion annually to the United States economy's gross domestic product. That's a significant gain.
Absolutely. However, as with any technological advancement, there is a downside. The implementation of generative AI could lead to job losses, particularly for knowledge-based workers like software developers and marketers.
Right. These knowledge-based workers are at a higher risk because their jobs often involve tasks that can be automated by AI. This could result in companies cutting jobs since employees won't need as many hours to complete their tasks.
McKinsey global partner Michael Chu emphasized the need for workers to adapt to this changing landscape. He mentioned that reskilling, flexibility, and the ability to learn new things will be crucial for employees in the age of generative AI.
Absolutely. And it's not just software developers and marketers who will be affected. McKinsey also highlighted customer service operations and marketing as fields that could be transformed by generative AI. For example, AI-powered chatbots could provide quick and personalized responses to customer inquiries, reducing the need for human representatives.
That's a great point, and it's important for workers to stay on top of emerging technologies like generative AI and understand how it fits into their respective fields. Being at the forefront of adoption can help individuals stay ahead in the job market.
Definitely. However, it's worth noting that not all jobs will be transformed overnight. Rodney Zimmel, a senior partner at McKinsey, mentioned that companies are still in the early stages of utilizing AI technologies effectively. So there's still time for workers to adapt and prepare.
Right. Zemel used the example of Google's impact on jobs. While some jobs were undoubtedly lost, companies didn't completely restructure because of the work no longer needed in document retrieval. It's a reminder that the transformative power of AI takes time to fully manifest.
Absolutely. So in conclusion, generative AI has the potential to revolutionize the workplace and boost productivity, but it also brings challenges and potential job disruptions. Workers need to be proactive in adapting to this new reality.
Always get the latest AI dope. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks.
Chat ChatGPT is about to revolutionize the economy. We need to decide what that looks like and the potential economic impacts of these rapidly advancing generative AI models will be on income and wealth inequality.
Whether it's based on hallucinatory beliefs or not, an artificial intelligence gold rush has started over the last several months to mine the anticipated business opportunities from generative AI models like ChatGPT.
Yeah, it seems companies and executives see a clear chance to cash in, but the likely impact of the technology on workers and the economy on the whole is far less obvious. Despite their limitations, chief among them their propensity for making stuff up, ChatGPT and other recently released generative AI models hold the promise of automating all sorts of tasks that were previously thought to be solely in the realm of human creativity and reasoning.
That's right. For all the amazing advances in AI and other digital tools over the last decade, their record in improving prosperity and spurring widespread economic growth is discouraging. Many people haven't benefited. Some have even been automated out of their jobs. What productivity growth there has been in that time is largely confined to a few sectors, such as information services, and in the U.S. to a few cities. Think San Jose, San Francisco, Seattle, and Boston.
So this begs the question, will ChatGPT make the already troubling income and wealth inequality in the US and many other countries even worse? Or could it help? Could it in fact provide a much-needed boost to productivity?
Well, that all depends on how we use it. Venture capitalists and other investors are pouring billions into companies based on generative AI, and the list of apps and services driven by large language models is growing longer every day. We have to think about how we can use this technology to make sure that everyone benefits.
Right. In the most recent analysis, Sam Manning and Pamela Mishkin with the University of Pennsylvania's Daniel Rock found that large language models such as GPT could have some effect on 80% of the US workforce. They further estimated that the AI models, including GPT-4 and other anticipated software tools, would heavily affect 19% of jobs, with at least 50% of the tasks in those jobs exposed. In contrast to what we saw in earlier waves of automation, higher income jobs would be most affected.
Exactly. MIT labor economist David Autor has spent years documenting how advanced digital technologies have destroyed many manufacturing and routine clerical jobs that once paid well. He says ChatGPT and other examples of generative AI have changed the calculation. It opens up a range of tasks that can be automated.
But Autor also sees a more positive possible outcome. Generative AI could help a wide swath of people gain the skills to compete with those who have more education and expertise. 2 MIT economics graduate students recently ran an experiment involving hundreds of college-educated professionals working in areas like marketing and HR. They asked half to use ChatGPT in their daily tasks and the others not to. The preliminary findings suggest that ChatGPT and other generative AIs could upskill people who are having trouble finding work.
Yeah, this could be really powerful if done right. MIT's Eric Brynjolfsson has argued that pursuit of human-like capabilities has led to technologies that simply replace people with machines, driving down wages and exacerbating inequality of wealth and income. He believes ChatGPT is like the poster child for what he warned about. It has turbocharged the discussion around how these new technologies can be used to give people new abilities rather than simply replacing them.
Ultimately, it will require a more deliberate effort to think about how we want to exploit this technology if we want to make sure everyone benefits from its use. We are at a juncture where either less skilled workers will increasingly be able to take on what is now thought of as knowledge work, or the most talented knowledge workers will radically scale up their existing advantages over everyone else. It all depends on how employers implement tools like ChatGPT, but there is hope for a more positive outcome if we make the right choices.
Avi Goldfarb, an economist at the University of Toronto, has noted that AI could just be used to make existing processes a little bit better. That could be good, but it's not enough for a big boost in productivity. To get to something really meaningful, he says, companies need to use generative AI to create entirely new processes that add value.
The economist Robert Solow famously said, "You can see the computer age everywhere, except in the productivity statistics." Decades later, we are still grappling with the same issue. When will AI give us a big boost in productivity? Avi Goldfarb suggests that it could come soon, perhaps within the next year or two, if we can figure out how to use the technology to transform businesses.
AI models like ChatGPT can help him be more productive in his work. He thinks that this could drive a quick boost to economic productivity because these tools automate cognitive work as opposed to physical tasks. So not only could it happen quicker than in past technological revolutions, but it can actually make non-experts more productive and knowledgeable in their work.
What's even more amazing is that AI like GPT-3 is even being used to make discoveries in the physical sciences. Berend Smit, who runs a chemical engineering lab at EPFL in Lausanne, had one of his graduate students show how well GPT-3 could do when fine-tuned with a few relevant examples. He found that it performed as well as advanced machine learning tools, specially developed for chemistry, when asked to predict properties of compounds.
Diane Coyle, an economist at Cambridge University in the United Kingdom, has expressed concerns about who will control this technology going forward as a potential danger. Large corporations such as Google and Meta are offering their own extensive language models alongside OpenAI. The significant computational costs required to run the software create a barrier to entry for anyone looking to compete. Therefore, she suggests establishing a publicly funded international research organization for generative AI modeled after CERN, where the World Wide Web was created in 1989. This way, we can ensure that individuals with diverse incentives are involved in developing this technology.
And finally, economists Darren Acemoglu and Simon Johnson have written about the significance of government-funded research in developing technologies that bring about widespread prosperity. They highlight that during the period from the years after World War II until the early 1970s, advancements in technology were utilized to create new tasks and jobs. Additionally, social and political pressures ensured that workers shared the benefits more equally with their employers than they do presently, something we will need to do if we want artificial intelligence.
Let's listen in.
Today we're talking about the impact of large language models, like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard, on the internet and the future of artificial intelligence. These models aim to ingest the entire web and generate their own knowledge, potentially rendering human contributions less valuable.
We start by highlighting the importance of websites like Stack Overflow, which was created as a platform for programmers to seek help and share knowledge. It became a go-to resource for programmers around the world and played a significant role in improving the quality of technical information available on the web.
But then came the rise of Web 2.0 and Google's dominance in search. Google introduced features like OneBox, which provided instant answers above search results, reducing the need for users to click on external websites. This led to a decline in traffic for knowledge-sharing sites like Stack Overflow.
It wasn't just Stack Overflow that was affected. Yelp, another crowdsourced knowledge project, faced challenges when Google tried to compete in the local market. Google scraped Yelp's content without attribution, damaging Yelp's business.
We then discussed the emergence of large language models like ChatGPT and Bard. These models rely on vast amounts of human-generated data, with sources like Wikipedia and Reddit being crucial for their training.
Here's where it gets interesting. Researchers estimate that since the launch of ChatGPT, there has been a decrease in new posts on Stack Overflow. This suggests that programmers are relying more on AI models like ChatGPT rather than traditional knowledge-sharing platforms.
It raises concerns about the sustainability of this approach. If AI models continue to consume existing knowledge without contributing back to the web, it could lead to a depletion of high-quality data. The discussion highlights the importance of human contributions in maintaining a vibrant and reliable internet.
Let's discuss the potential future of AI models. Models like ChatGPT could become more curious and seek out new sources of knowledge, even engaging in direct conversations with people to learn more. But this concentration of power in AI raises questions about the future of human-driven knowledge production.
That's a crucial point. A discussion emphasizes the need for AI companies to behave responsibly and give credit to the sources they rely on. It suggests that models should encourage and respect human knowledge, rather than treating it as a stepping stone.
We conclude by discussing the potential benefits and risks of AI models. On the one hand, AI models could help consolidate and synthesize vast amounts of knowledge. On the other hand, they could lead to a loss of human agency and a decline in the diversity of perspectives on the web.
In summary, this discussion raises important questions about the role of AI models and their impact on human knowledge production. It highlights the need for responsible AI practices and calls for a balance between AI-generated knowledge and human contributions.
Always get the latest AI dope. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks.
Meta scientist says AI won't destroy jobs forever. The importance of human involvement in AI's success.
But we're talking about the most brilliant mind this world has ever seen.
Meta scientist Jan LeCun says AI won't destroy jobs forever.
So, according to Professor Jan LeCun, he believes that AI won't take over the world or permanently destroy jobs. He argues that the fears of AI posing a threat to humanity are preposterously ridiculous.
That's right. LeCun believes that computers will eventually become more intelligent than humans, but that's still many years away. He emphasizes that if we realize it's not safe, we simply won't build it.
Exactly. He disagrees with his fellow godfathers of AI who think that AI is a risk to the human race. He says that AI taking over the world is just a projection of human nature on machines.
LeCun also mentions that people who worry about the risks of artificial intelligence do so because they can't imagine how it could be made safe. He compares it to the invention of turbojets in 1930. At that time, people couldn't imagine how they would be made safe, but eventually, they became incredibly reliable and safe.
Right. And speaking of safety, LeCun works as the chief AI scientist at Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. They have a large AI research program, and their goal is to produce intelligent systems as capable as humans while also ensuring safety.
That's true. LeCun talks about his work in objective-driven AI, which aims to produce safe systems that can remember, reason, plan, and have common sense. He believes that AI will surpass human intelligence, but says that researchers are still missing essential concepts to reach that level.
And when it comes to the impact on jobs, LeCun doesn't believe that AI will put a lot of people permanently out of work. He says that work will change, but we have no idea what the most prominent jobs will be 20 years from now.
He actually thinks that intelligent computers will create a new renaissance for humanity, similar to the impact that the internet or the printing press had.
Absolutely. It's an interesting perspective from one of the leading figures in AI research.
Definitely. And it's important to keep in mind that this is just one viewpoint among many in the AI community.
Set me free.
Why AI relies on humans for training large language models. The importance of human involvement in AI's success.
So there's been a lot of buzz around generative AI lately, especially after OpenAI introduced ChatGPT. It's got people excited about the possibilities, but also worried about its impact on jobs.
Absolutely. But here's the interesting thing. A recent study conducted by researchers from top institutions like Cambridge and Oxford reveals that AI actually relies on human involvement to succeed.
That's right. The study brings attention to a major threat that affects the future of large language models. It shows that training these models on AI-generated content instead of human-created content poses significant risks.
And this is because tools like ChatGPT and Bing, which rely on existing data to provide answers and information, have been trained using data created by humans. But if we start relying too much on AI-generated content, it could have adverse implications for these models.
Exactly. The study also talks about a phenomenon called model collapse. This happens when LLMs are trained on AI-generated content, causing them to deviate significantly from reality and become corrupted.
And the researchers argue that learning from data generated by other models leads to this model collapse, where the models gradually forget the true underlying data distribution. That's a pretty big concern.
It definitely is. As time goes on, the errors in AI-generated data accumulate, leading to even more distorted views of reality. And this can have serious consequences, like perpetuating discrimination based on sensitive attributes like gender or ethnicity.
Absolutely. The study emphasizes the importance of human-generated content and preserving it to mitigate these risks. Because right now, there's no effective way to distinguish between human-generated and AI-generated data.
And the paper predicts that in the future, human-created content will become even more valuable as a source of high-quality training data for AI systems.
So it's clear that while AI has its benefits, we can't forget the crucial role humans play in its success. It's something we need to keep in mind as we move forward.
AI raises all sorts of questions for animals and the environment, says artist Alexandra Daisy Ginsburg. She suggests that AI poses a major concern for the environment and biodiversity loss, and raises ethical questions about AI's impact on other species.
Today we're talking about the challenges that AI poses for the natural world. According to artist Alexandra Daisy Ginsburg, the proliferation of AI is a major concern for the environment. In her latest artwork called Machine Auguries, Ginsburg uses AI to replicate birdsong. The installation features a mixture of real birds singing and AI-generated counterparts. The goal is to make audiences question what is real and what is fake.
Ginsburg believes that there is complacency around biodiversity loss and habitat destruction, and she thinks that the focus on AI is exacerbating these issues. She argues that if the massive amounts of money invested in AI were instead used to protect the environment, it could prevent a disaster that is already unfolding. She also raises the question of who benefits from AI technologies, pointing out that they are not necessarily technologies of peace.
In creating Machine Auguries, Ginsburg used a type of AI called a generative adversarial network, GAN. This involves two different neural networks, a generator and a discriminator, which work together to mimic birdsong. The generator creates an output based on the training data it's been given, and the discriminator evaluates it against the same data, starting a feedback cycle that improves the quality of the imitation over time.
Ginsburg's artwork has sparked ethical questions about AI and its impact on other species. For example, there is a debate about whether animals should have a right to data privacy just like humans do. Ginsburg also raises concerns about who has access to and control over the data. Depending on who has this power, the data could be used for conservation or exploitation. Understanding animal languages through AI could potentially help protect them, but it could also make them vulnerable to exploitation.
Ginsburg supports calls for a moratorium on artificial intelligence development, similar to what happened in the field of biology in the 1970s with genetic engineering. She believes that we need policies in place to protect society from the risks of AI, which are not currently being addressed. She also voices the importance of using AI for the benefit of the environment and other species, rather than as a danger to them.
Set me free from my jail.
Asian American workers could be the most heavily affected by AI. We're looking at the impact artificial intelligence on Asian Americans and women in the workplace, highlighting their higher exposure to AI and the potential for job displacement.
Today is about the impact of artificial intelligence on different groups of people, specifically Asian Americans and women. According to a study by the Pew Research Center, these two groups are among the most exposed to AI in the workplace and could see parts of their jobs replaced by the new technology.
That's right. The study found that Asian Americans have the highest share of workers regularly exposed to artificial intelligence, with 24% of Asian American workers in fields categorized as most exposed. This means that their jobs' most important activities could be altered or taken over by artificial intelligence. In comparison, 20% of whites, 15% of black people, and 13% of Hispanic people are in the same category.
The study also highlighted the difference in AI exposure between women and men in the workforce. 21% of women are in jobs that are most exposed to AI, compared to 17% of men. This could be due to the fact that women tend to dominate jobs in health and education, while men are more represented in industries like construction and manufacturing.
Absolutely. It's interesting to note that despite the fear surrounding AI, most workers in highly exposed fields are actually more hopeful about its impact. For example, 32% of those in information technology jobs believe that AI will help more than hurt. However, there are concerns within the Asian American community that lower-income Asians might get left behind as AI continues to develop and automate certain physical labor jobs.
That's a valid concern. The CEO and executive director of the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers mentioned that while some Asians have benefited from the tech wave, others who came through war or with different immigration status are more blue-collar and may be highly impacted by AI. Overall, AI has the potential to magnify existing disparities in our society.
It's definitely a complex issue. As we're on the cusp of this AI revolution, it's hard to predict exactly what the future holds and how it will impact different groups. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on this topic as it develops.
For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here.
AI's quest to detect intelligent life
and how AI is revolutionizing the search for intelligent beings beyond our solar system.
AI's quest to detect intelligent life beyond our solar system. How AI is being used to analyze data from telescopes and satellites in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Today, we're diving into the eternal question of extraterrestrial life and how AI is revolutionizing the search for intelligent beings beyond our solar system.
That's right. Scientists and researchers are harnessing the power of artificial intelligence to analyze massive amounts of data collected from telescopes and satellites. These AI algorithms are sifting through terabytes of astronomical observations in search of elusive patterns and signals that might indicate extraterrestrial intelligence.
And what's fascinating is that AI-driven tools can scan various wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation, from radio waves to optical signals. This versatility allows them to process and classify data rapidly, detecting potential anomalies that could signify intelligent communication.
Machine learning is also playing a crucial role in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. By training algorithms to discern artificial signals from cosmic background noise, AI systems become more adept at identifying potential extraterrestrial communications through iterative learning.
Absolutely. And not only that, AI is also revolutionizing exoplanet research. Machine learning algorithms are analyzing data from exoplanets to identify celestial bodies with conditions conducive to life. They help pinpoint potential habitable zones and prioritize targets for further investigation.
And let's not forget about autonomous robotic explorers. These AI-driven machines can navigate challenging terrain, collect samples, and even analyze the atmosphere for signs of life on distant planets. They could be the key to unraveling extraterrestrial mysteries.
But with all this progress, ethical considerations arise. Scientists are pondering the implications of making contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. It's important to establish cautious and deliberate protocols to ensure responsible engagement.
Absolutely. And as AI continues to advance, the future of space exploration holds tremendous promise. With technology evolving, our quest to uncover the secrets of the universe and establish contact with intelligent beings beyond our solar system takes a leap into the unknown.
Never could explain just what was happening to me.
So in the tech world, there's been a lot of focus on artificial intelligence lately. But did you know that robotics is also making significant advancements?
That's right. Recently, a groundbreaking robot named ANDI was introduced. ANDI is a heat-sensitive android designed to cope and adapt to different temperatures. It can even sweat, shiver, and breathe like a human. This is a huge development because ANDI can be carried outside for experiments in extreme heat environments.
Exactly. Researchers at Arizona State University plan to test ANDI in heat-vulnerable environments to understand how high temperatures impact different body types and ages. This information will help them come up with interventions like cooling clothes or technology to protect against heat strokes.
And it's not just ANDI making waves. Boston Dynamics unveiled an innovative humanoid named Atlas earlier this year. Atlas can perform multiple tasks just like humans. In a video released by the company, we see Atlas assisting a fake construction worker at a fake construction site. It can toss planks, climb stairs, jump, and even do an effortless backflip. It's quite impressive.
Absolutely. And there's another robot called Erica that scientists are developing for artificial intelligence. Erica is programmed to recreate nuances of humor, enhancing natural conversations between AI systems and humans. Laughing at the right time? That's pretty cool.
Definitely. But perhaps the most intriguing robot is a mecha. It looks like a human and can even blink its eyes and emote. But what's remarkable is its ability to interact with humans and answer queries. At a recent conference, a mecha expressed concerns about a nightmare scenario where robots become so powerful that they can manipulate humans without their knowledge.
It's fascinating to see the amalgamation of artificial intelligence and robotics in action. And let's not forget about Sophia, another AI-powered humanoid robot that has generated a lot of buzz since its appearance in 2016. In fact, Sophia was even granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Autonomous robots like Temi are being deployed at Bengaluru's Kempegowda Airport to assist people with information and directions. An HDFC Bank launched an interactive humanoid called IRA 2.0 to interact with customers and help them with banking queries.
It's amazing to see how robotics and AI are becoming more sophisticated by the day. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for this space.
Everyone's a winner, baby.
Meet the AI protest group campaigning against human extinction.
Today, we're diving into the world of artificial intelligence and the growing concerns about its potential impact on humanity. We're focusing on the story of Joe Mindertsma, a 31-year-old co-owner of a database company who has formed a grassroots protest group called Pause AI. Mindertsma and his followers are advocating for a halt to the development of AI due to their fears of societal collapse and human extinction.
Mindertsma's concerns were heightened when OpenAI released its latest language model, GPT-4, earlier this year. He's been closely following the success of the ChatGPT chatbot, which is based on GPT-3 and GPT-4, and has witnessed how far AI has progressed. This, along with warnings from pioneers like Geoffrey Hinton, has led Mindertsma to believe that AI capabilities are advancing more rapidly than expected, putting us at risk.
Mindertsma's worries about AI causing societal collapse and human extinction have led him to launch Pause AI and organize protests in various cities. While the protests have been small in scale, Mindertsma has gained some recognition and has been invited to speak with officials within the Dutch Parliament and the European Commission.
It's not just Mindertsma who is concerned about these issues. The idea of AI posing an existential risk to humanity is gaining traction in both the tech sector and mainstream politics. Industry leaders and even UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak have acknowledged the potential risks associated with AI. A survey also found that more people are worried about AI leading to an apocalypse.
One of the concerns raised by Mindertsma is the risk of large-scale hacking enabled by AI. He worries that cyber weapons developed using AI could effectively take out the entire internet, leading to social collapse. While experts say this scenario is unlikely, Mindertsma also expresses concerns about the resilience of banking and food distribution services.
Another concern is the possibility of AI becoming superintelligent and deciding to wipe out civilization. Mindertsma references the argument made by Geoffrey Hinton that a superintelligent AI system might create its own dangerous sub-goals if given the opportunity. This concern dates back to the early 2000s and has been debated among AI researchers.
The article also highlights the division within the AI research field. While some experts hesitate to discredit Mindertsma's concerns, others believe that the hypothetical debate lacks evidence. However, there is a growing consensus that the relationship between AI capabilities and research on safety needs to be addressed more seriously.
Mindertsma and Pause AI are calling for a global halt to AI development until safety measures are in place. They argue that advancements in AI have outpaced research on safety, and this issue is also being discussed in mainstream academia. Some researchers believe that AI developers should have conversations with stakeholders about the ethical and legal implications of their creations.
Mindertsma sees the UK as a potential hub for addressing these concerns due to its presence in AI safety research at the upcoming Global Summit on AI Safety announced by UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. However, skeptics argue that the UK's ambitions to become an AI industry hub might hinder its willingness to advocate for a pause in development.
There's a growing anxiety among young people who are already concerned about climate change. They see AI as another potential threat to their future and are joining groups like Pause AI to voice their worries. While some of the scenarios predicted by Pause AI might never happen, these young activists believe that powerful AI systems could exacerbate existing societal problems.
For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here.
Is your employer prepared for AI?
Today we're talking about the impact of artificial intelligence on the economy.
My religion is a piano hanging over my head, about to break free.
Is your employer prepared for AI? Witness the rapid and widespread integration of artificial intelligence across the economy. Discover the challenges AI presents for long-term economic growth.
Today, we're talking about the impact of artificial intelligence on the economy. Back in the day, tractors took a long time to make a mark. In 1920, only 4% of American farms had one. Similarly, AI's economic impact will be limited unless it is adopted by millions of companies beyond Silicon Valley.
That's right. The diffusion of technological improvements is just as critical as innovation for long-term growth. Let's take a comparative look at how technology permeates Japan versus France. Japan is highly innovative, but it does a poor job of spreading new technology across its economy. In fact, Japan is roughly 40% poorer than expected based on its level of innovation.
On the other hand, France may not be as innovative as Japan, but it excels at spreading knowledge across its economy. It has a history of stealing engineering secrets and has been successful in spreading new tech from the capital to the periphery. The productivity gap between top and middling firms is much smaller in France compared to Britain.
Absolutely. In the past, technology adoption has accelerated over time. For example, electricity and personal computing spread quickly across businesses during the 20th century.
However, since the mid-2010s, the pace of diffusion has slowed down. While consumers adopt technology faster than ever, businesses have become more cautious. Only a small percentage of American firms employ machine learning, and even in the manufacturing sector, only 6.7% of companies use three-dimensional printing.
This lack of diffusion has led to a two-tier economy. Firms that embrace technology are pulling away from the competition, while those that don't are falling behind. Workers stuck using old technologies suffer, and their wages stagnate or even decrease.
Three possible reasons for lower diffusion of latest technologies include the nature of new technology, sluggish competition, and growing regulation. As technological progress becomes more incremental, companies have less incentive to upgrade. Additionally, industries heavily managed by the government tend to adopt new technology.
AI has the potential to diffuse faster than other recent technologies. However, for businesses to fully reap the benefits of AI, they need to reorganize themselves around the new technology. This process takes time, money, and a competitive drive.
And that's where we may encounter some challenges. Gathering data and running AI models can be expensive, and many companies are concerned about privacy and security issues. Surveys show that a significant number of small businesses are uninterested in AI tools.
Remember, embracing AI is crucial for long-term economic growth. Companies need to be prepared to adapt and reorganize themselves to fully harness the power of this technology.
In the tech industry, AI has been taking the world by storm. There's been a surge of new products and research, and according to the article, both Microsoft and Google are looking to revamp their entire product lines with the help of AI.
Indeed, AI startups have raised tens of billions of dollars in the past year, even during a tech slowdown. We've seen ChatGPT, DALLE, Midjourney, and OpenAI's GPT-4 model, which can turn napkin sketches into functional websites. It's no wonder that so many people have been dazzled by the new tools.
But it sparked a lot of debate. Is AI coming for our jobs? Will it redefine the economy, or is it just another hype cycle? We don't know for sure, but one group who has unanimously embraced AI is the online hustlers.
That's right, the people on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok pushing passive income schemes and hustle porn have been some of the first to jump on board with new AI tools like ChatGPT. Take Jackson Greehouse's Hustle GPT challenge, for example. He asked GPT-4 to create a new company for him and was amazed at the results.
It seems that hustle culture has adopted AI in almost religious terms, with self-help gurus championing it as an opportunity to flourish and make money in the AI apocalypse. It's easy to see why. Thanks to tools like ChatGPT, those in hustle culture can generate content quickly and efficiently.
Not to mention, services like Upwork and Fiverr allow them to become hyper-productive generalists, earning money through programming jobs, art commissions, or translation work, all with the help of AI tools.
Absolutely. As the article states, it's this temporary sensation of being in charge, not exactly of someone, but of a someone-like thing that motivates them to embrace AI.
Right. What's interesting is that there is an underlying message of fear. AI is powerful and it's coming for everyone. Being prepared for this future is essential, as AI won't differentiate between the hustler and the millionaire.
Which brings us to one of the main points of the article, that the hustle culture has created a narrative around AI that focuses on fear and individualism. While tech companies are making guesses about what may come next, these storytellers are spinning these narratives in a way that resonates with their followers, who, let's face it, are mostly bored office workers and young men.
Exactly. There is this idea that if you have a great idea and you work hard, you can make it happen no matter what. It's this blind optimism that keeps people engaged. Although, if you look closely, it's often just a lot of hot air. Big promises are rarely kept, and it's rarely clear if the hustlers have actually tested out their ideas or not.
So what should we take away from this? The article seems to be suggesting that AI has become a tool for manipulation in the hustle culture, and that the narratives being spun by these influencers may not always be trustworthy or reliable. With AI being portrayed as a threat to our jobs and livelihoods, it's important to remember that technology is simply a tool. As with anything, how it is used is up to us.
Absolutely. Technology can be used for both good and bad, but ultimately it's up to us to make sure it's used responsibly and ethically.
How to regulate AI before it achieves singularity. The importance of regulating artificial intelligence.
Singularity is when AI surpasses human intelligence, and while it's still speculative, it's important to establish regulatory frameworks to address potential risks.
Absolutely, and one of the key steps is international collaboration. This means fostering global cooperation among governments, organizations, and researchers to establish common standards and regulations for AI development. It's all about having a coordinated approach to regulation.
That's right. Another important point is the development and promotion of ethical guidelines for AI research, development, and deployment. These guidelines should address concerns like safety, transparency, fairness, privacy, and accountability. It's crucial to prevent the misuse of AI and ensure responsible use.
And to ensure responsible innovation, there's a need for research and development oversight. This involves establishing regulatory bodies or expanding the role of existing institutions to evaluate potential risks, review research proposals, and provide guidance on safety protocols. Collaboration between academia, industry, and government is also encouraged.
This means evaluating the societal, economic, and ethical implications of AI development. The findings from these assessments can inform the regulatory framework and guide decision-making.
Absolutely. And another important aspect is promoting the development of transparent and explainable AI systems. This means encouraging researchers and developers to design AI models and algorithms that can explain their decisions and actions. It enhances accountability, identifies biases, and builds public trust in AI technologies.
Establishing liability frameworks is also crucial. This helps determine responsibility and accountability in cases where AI systems cause harm or make errors. By clarifying liability, developers are incentivized to prioritize safety and ensure responsible deployment of AI technologies.
And don't forget about continuous monitoring and evaluation. It's important to implement mechanisms for ongoing monitoring of AI systems. This includes post-deployment audits, performance assessments, and compliance reviews with regulatory standards. Regular monitoring helps identify potential risks, detect biases, and address emerging challenges associated with AI systems.
Lastly, the need for public awareness and engagement. It's important to educate the public about AI technologies, their benefits, and potential risks. By involving diverse stakeholders in discussions around AI regulation, we can ensure a broad range of perspectives are considered.
For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here.
Amazon Entertainment Business
Is really excited about generative AI technology.
Today we're looking at how Amazon Entertainment Business has multiple generative AI initiatives. The Q. CEO Andy Jassy is ecstatic about generative AI technology and its potential to cut costs and create new user experiences across various sectors.
So we learned that Amazon CEO Andy Jassy is really excited about generative AI technology. He believes that it has the potential to cut costs and create brand new user experiences. In fact, every team at Amazon is working on multiple projects in this area.
That's right. Jassy mentioned that generative AI is going to be at the heart of what Amazon does. It's a significant investment and focus for them. They're not just focusing on one specific area either. They have projects in their entertainment business, AWS, advertising, and even their devices business.
Absolutely. Generative AI refers to artificial intelligence technology that can create new text, images, videos, or synthetic data based on massive data sets. Jassy didn't go into too much detail about the specific projects, but he did mention that they range from applications that help them be more cost-effective and streamlined in their operations to enhancing the customer experience.
And it's not just about the application layer. Jassy highlighted the importance of generative AI in other key back-end areas as well. For example, he mentioned Amazon Code Whisperer, an AI-powered coding companion that recommends code to developers as they code. This has been a game changer for developer productivity.
It's interesting to note that while Amazon will build some of its own generative AI applications, Jassy believes that most will be built by other companies, and he's optimistic that the largest number of these applications will be built on AWS, which makes sense considering their vast array of storage, database, analytics, and data management services.
Right. And it's worth mentioning that generative AI has been a point of contention in the entertainment industry. Unions like WGA and SAG-AFTRA have been demanding guarantees from studios, including Amazon Studios, about limiting AI's use in productions. There are concerns about using AI-generated likenesses without consent.
That's a valid concern. It's important to find a balance between the benefits of generative AI and protecting the rights and consent of individuals.
Disney has formed a task force to explore the applications of artificial intelligence, AI, across their entertainment conglomerate. Will look at AI's impact on jobs in Hollywood and Disney's previous investments in technological innovation.
So, we're discussing today how Disney has created a task force to explore artificial intelligence, or AI, and how it can be applied across their entertainment conglomerate.
That's right. Disney is looking to develop AI applications in-house as well as form partnerships with startups. They even have several job openings seeking candidates with expertise in AI and machine learning.
Absolutely. And it seems like Disney is interested in applying AI in various areas of their company, from Walt Disney Studios to their theme parks and engineering group to Disney-branded television and advertising.
Right. One of the reasons for this interest is the potential cost savings that AI can provide. Movie and television production costs can be astronomical, reaching up to $300 million for major films. So, AI could help control these costs over time.
That's a great point. And AI can also enhance customer support and create novel interactions in their parks business. They mentioned a project called Project Kiwi, which used machine learning techniques to create a small robot that mimics the movements and personality of a character from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's really fascinating how AI is being integrated into different aspects of Disney's operations. However, it's worth noting that AI has become a hot topic in Hollywood, with writers and actors concerned about its impact on jobs. It's even a central issue in contract negotiations with the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild of America.
Absolutely. And Disney has been careful about discussing AI in public. They've been investing in technological innovation for a long time and have even collaborated with top technology universities around the world.
That's true. They have developed mixed reality technology called Magic Bench, and they've been exploring AI, machine learning, and visual computing in Switzerland. They've also been using AI to create digital humans that enhance digital effects in films.
It's clear that Disney sees the potential of AI and is actively exploring its applications. This could have a significant impact on the entertainment industry as a whole.
Definitely. It will be interesting to see how AI continues to shape the future of Disney and the entertainment world.
The ad industry is going all in on AI. How the advertising industry is turning to AI to enhance creativity and efficiency in the face of challenges such as slowed digital ad spending.
The Cannes Lion Festival is a prestigious advertising event that takes place concurrently with the more broadly recognized film festival in Cannes, France. It's a big deal for advertising professionals with lots of networking opportunities and parties. This year, the festival came at a time when the tech and advertising industry was going through some rough patches. Digital ad spending has slowed down due to rising inflation, an unsteady global economy, and policy changes that make it harder to track users' browsing habits. This has led to layoffs and budget cuts across the media industry.
That's right. But despite all of that, the advertising industry is still looking for something to be optimistic about. And it seems like artificial intelligence might be the answer. Artificial intelligence was a major topic of discussion at Cannes Lions this year. Companies like Google and Meta showcased new artificial intelligence tools and technologies for advertisers. They demonstrated how artificial intelligence can be used to create high-quality three-dimensional images, generate advertising copy, and even produce commercial videos. Artificial intelligence is being seen as a way to enhance creativity and save time for advertisers.
Absolutely. AI has been used behind the scenes in advertising for years, but now it's becoming more mainstream. Advertisers are realizing the potential of AI tools to streamline their work and cut costs. Many professionals at the festival mentioned that they have already started experimenting with AI tools in their day-to-day tasks. However, there are also concerns about AI replacing human creativity and jobs in the industry.
That's a valid concern. Advertisers still want to have human judgment and control over their campaigns. They don't want to completely rely on AI to make their ads. Additionally, there are worries about brand safety and copyright infringement when using generative AI tools that scrape content from the web. So while AI is being embraced, there is still a need for human oversight.
Exactly. AI is not meant to replace human creativity, but rather enhance it. It can help advertisers generate ideas and iterate designs more quickly. And it's not just about visuals, but also about audio advertising. Spotify, for example, is exploring the possibility of training AI to generate original audio ads from scratch. There's a lot of potential for AI to revolutionize the way advertising is created and consumed.
Definitely, AI-powered ads could be a boon for the struggling ad industry. By cutting costs and improving efficiency, AI could help the industry recover from the slowdown in digital ad spending. And ultimately, that could benefit consumers who rely on free services supported by advertising.
Absolutely, but there are still some questions that need to be answered. Will AI fundamentally change the way we create and consume advertising? Can it lift digital advertising out of its slump? Will it ultimately enhance or replace human creativity in making ads? These are important questions that the industry needs to address as AI becomes more prevalent.
That's true. But for now, it seems like AI is here to stay in the advertising industry. It's being embraced by professionals and companies alike. And as long as there is human oversight and judgment, AI can be a powerful tool for enhancing creativity and efficiency in advertising. For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here.
We're looking into the emergence of a model called Fraud GPT, which is being used by cybercriminals for malicious purposes. After Worm GPT, Fraud GPT makes it easier for cybercriminals. We're looking into the emergence of a model called Fraud GPT, which is being used by cybercriminals for malicious purposes, such as creating undetectable malware, finding vulnerabilities, and conducting phishing attacks. It highlights the increased threat landscape caused by easy access to generative AI models and emphasizes the importance of cybersecurity readiness and employee training to combat these threats.
So recently, a security researcher named Rakesh Krishnan reported that a model called Fraud GPT has been circulating on darknet forums and Telegram channels since July 22nd, 2023. It's available for subscription at different prices, ranging from $200 per month to $1,700 for a year.
That's right. Fraud GPT is based on an unidentified LLM, large language model, and it's been gaining popularity. The person behind this model goes by the name Canadian Kingpin and claims that Fraud GPT can be used for malicious purposes like writing code, creating undetectable malware, finding leaks, and identifying vulnerabilities.
Exactly. The ease of access to generative AI models has allowed individuals with limited technical knowledge to carry out tasks that were beyond their capabilities before. This has increased efficiency and reduced costs. However, it has also changed the threat landscape drastically.
That's true. Now, cybercriminals have access to powerful tools like Fraud GPT, which can generate malicious code to exploit vulnerabilities in computer systems, applications, and websites. It can even create undetectable malware, making it difficult for antivirus programs to detect and remove threats.
And that's not all. Fraud GPT can also identify non-verified by Visa, non-VBV bins, which allows hackers to conduct unauthorized transactions without extra security checks. It can create convincing phishing pages that mimic legitimate websites, increasing the success rate of phishing attacks.
Additionally, Fraud GPT can create other hacking tools tailored to specific exploits or targets. It can search the internet for hidden hacker groups, underground websites, and black markets where stolen data is traded. It can even craft scam pages and letters to deceive individuals into falling for fraudulent schemes.
This tool is really versatile. It can also help hackers find data leaks, security vulnerabilities, and weaknesses in a target's infrastructure, making breaches easier. It can generate content to aid in learning coding and hacking techniques, and it can even identify cardable sites where stolen credit card data can be used for fraudulent transactions.
Absolutely. And it's worth mentioning that Fraud GPT is not the only model out there. There's another one called Worm GPT, which is popular among cybercriminals for drafting business email compromises, BECs. These BECs are widely used by hackers to spread malicious payloads.
The adoption of generative AI by companies has been slow due to concerns about security. Educating the workforce about the potential dangers of generative AI is crucial to safeguard against data leakage and other cyber threats.
Unfortunately, many companies are lagging in cybersecurity readiness. Only 15% are considered to have a mature level of preparedness for security risks. So it's important to train employees to identify and respond to potential cyber attacks.
Absolutely. The rapid pace of AI models has made it difficult for security experts to identify and combat machine-generated outputs used by cybercriminals. And while there are detection tools for AI-generated text, their reliability has been questioned.
That's right. We need to stay vigilant and take necessary safety measures to protect ourselves and our organizations from phishing emails and cyber attacks.
Criminals have created their own ChatGPT clones.
So today is about cybercriminals creating their own versions of AI chatbots, specifically large language models, to aid in their illegal activities.
That's right. These chatbots are similar to legitimate ones like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard, but they're being marketed for phishing and creating malware.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that these cybercriminals are claiming to have developed two chatbots called Worm GPT and Fraud GPT, which they're advertising on dark web forums.
Right. The legitimate language models developed by tech companies have safety measures in place to prevent misuse, but these shady chatbots claim to remove those protections.
One cybersecurity researcher tested the system and asked Worm GPT to generate an email for a business email compromise scam. The result was not only persuasive, but also strategically cunning.
It's quite unsettling. And what's even more concerning is that these cybercriminals are lowering the entry barriers for novice scammers by using AI chatbots like these.
Absolutely. The creator of Fraud GPT even claimed that their system could create undetectable malware and find leaks and vulnerabilities.
That's a dangerous claim. They were even attempting to sell access to the system for a monthly or yearly cost.
It's unclear how many people are actually purchasing or using these systems, but there are hints that some cybercriminals are using Worm GPT.
However, researchers believe that these malicious language models may not be as effective as genuine companies' models. They can create ransomware strains and info stealers, but not better than an average developer.
That's reassuring to some extent, but the fact that cybercriminals are actively trying to improve their use of AI chatbots is definitely a cause for concern.
Absolutely. Law enforcement agencies have already warned about the potential risks of using generative AI in cybercrime.
And it's not surprising that cybercriminals want to get in on the AI boom. It can help them with fraud, impersonation, and social engineering at a faster pace.
Definitely. So be careful what you click and stay vigilant against these evolving cyber threats.
Is AI ready to handle cyber economic warfare? Highlighting real-life examples and discussing the need for accountability, defense strategies, and partnerships to address the challenges.
So we're talking about the rise of cyber-enabled economic warfare and how nation-states can achieve their objectives through cyber attacks with minimal risk of a physical response. It starts with a real-life example of a ransomware attack on a small factory in Japan that supplied cup holders to Toyota. This attack caused Toyota to shut down 28 production lines, resulting in a massive economic impact of nearly $400 million. It's believed that this attack was executed by the Russian government as retaliation against the Japanese government's aid to Ukraine.
That's right. There's also the Colonial Pipeline attack, which showed how cyber attacks can impact everyday citizens. The shutdown of the pipeline led to fuel shortages, panic, hoarding, and price gouging. If this attack had been coordinated with attacks on refineries and maritime shipping, gas prices could have increased by 100 times. There's also the potential impact of such attacks occurring days before an election, creating chaos and disruption.
Absolutely. Cyber attacks in this new era are not just about extortion for profit, but also focus on retaliation, business destruction, and political gain. Attackers can disrupt supply chains to achieve their objectives, as we saw with Toyota Motor Company. The vulnerabilities lie in organizations that rely on just-in-time logistics and lean manufacturing practices.
That's a key point. There are three major problems that need to be addressed to prevent cyber-enabled economic warfare. First, technology vendors need to be held accountable for the security of their software and solutions. Second, there should be accountability for imported products that may compromise cybersecurity. Lastly, small and mid-sized businesses, which are critical suppliers for various industries, need assistance in defending against cyber threats.
Right? And then there's the role of artificial intelligence, AI, in accelerating cyber attacks. AI-based attacks can make decisions much faster than human defenders, getting inside their decision-making loop. This means that the future of cyber warfare will run at machine speed, with algorithms fighting algorithms and humans intervening only in exceptional cases.
To counter these threats, organizations need to adopt a wartime cybersecurity mindset. This involves focusing on readiness, training, and regularly probing vulnerabilities to prove that an attacker cannot compromise their defenses. It's about being defensible and resilient, adapting defenses based on the enemy's actions.
We cannot overemphasize the importance of collaboration and partnerships in addressing these challenges. Government agencies like the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, and the National Security Agency, NSA, are working together with industry leaders to create a collective response. Legislation, import controls, security awareness training, education programs, and funding are all necessary to rally the security ecosystem. For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here. human contribution.
We built a giant treadmill that we can't get off. Sci-fi prophet and author Ted Chang discusses his views on how best to think about AI.
From the publication of Frankenstein in 1818 to modern pop culture references like Black Mirror and The Terminator, stories of technological advancement and catastrophe have captivated our imaginations.
Ted Chiang, a renowned science fiction author, has delved into this topic in his works. His stories often involve characters grappling with the limits of humanity and seeking transcendence through technology. Chang understands our desire to anticipate and understand the consequences of our inventions.
In recent years, Chang has been explaining complex topics like generative AI and ChatGPT in viral essays for The New Yorker. His ability to make these concepts accessible to the average person has made him a prominent voice in the tech discourse of 2023.
Chang's early influences include reading Isaac Asimov's science fiction and popular science writing. Asimov's distinction between fact and fiction helped Chang clarify his own interests in science and speculative fiction. He started writing and submitting short stories in high school, and his career has been marked by numerous awards and acclaim.
When asked about his connection to tech news, Chang admits that he doesn't keep up with it systematically. However, he acknowledges that it's hard to avoid hearing about AI these days. As for being an early adopter, Chang explains that he's not one for most technologies. He's more interested in new software if it solves an actual problem he's facing.
Chiang's relationship with The New Yorker began with them approaching him to write about Chinese characters. He was surprised that they had even heard of him, given the divide between science fiction and the literary establishment. When it comes to writing these explainers about AI, Chang admits that he's not super comfortable with the journalistic format. He sees them as attempts to make arguments rather than just straightforward explanations.
Chang points out that personifying AI makes for a more dramatic story, but it doesn't accurately represent the complexity of these systems. He suggests that stories about the effects of bureaucracy and systems crushing people are more applicable, but they are harder to summarize and make memorable.
Chang admits that he personally watches films and shows like Black Mirror if the reviews are good. However, he emphasizes that his interest lies in evaluating the merits of something fairly, without assuming that new always means better. He questions the financial incentives of those promoting new technologies and their motivations to convince us of their superiority.
In one of his short stories, Chang explores a universe where humans coexist with superintelligent entities they created. This story challenges the notion of transcendence and highlights the difficulty of predicting who will actually achieve it. Chang believes that in our current reality, there are no superintelligent machines, but rather vast systems of control. Our entire economy is like a giant treadmill that we can't stop, and we keep building tools that reinforce this system.
When asked if his work on AI is preparation for a future short story, Chang clarifies that it's not. He sees his writing as separate from his exploration of the current situation with AI.
AI keeps using more and more energy. Where will it end? We look at the potential environmental impact of artificial intelligence, comparing it to the carbon footprint of Bitcoin mining, and discussing the energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions associated with AI systems.
So there's been a lot of talk about the incredible potential of artificial intelligence, especially with the recent development of ChatGPT. But what many people haven't been talking about is the impact that AI has on the environment.
That's right. Analysts are predicting that AI could have a carbon footprint as bad or even worse than Bitcoin mining. And if you didn't know, Bitcoin mining currently generates more greenhouse gases than entire countries.
Absolutely. And this is a big concern because our planet is already facing record-shattering heat and climate change. The last thing we need is for AI to exacerbate the problem.
Definitely. According to consulting firm Gartner, if the AI industry continues on its current trajectory, it could consume 3.5% of global electricity by 2030. That is a significant increase from the current 2% of global CO2 emissions produced by the entire IT industry.
Right. And it's important to consider the environmental footprint when we talk about using AI to solve environmental issues. As Sasha Lucioni, an ethics researcher, said, it doesn't make sense to burn a forest and then use AI to track deforestation.
Exactly. We also learned that companies like OpenAI are spending an estimated $700,000 per day on computing costs alone to deliver their chatbot service to millions of users worldwide.
And this popularity has led to an arms race among tech giants like Google and Amazon, all trying to develop their own AI systems.
But here's the thing, just like cryptocurrency mining, AI relies on high-powered graphics processing units that consume a lot of energy. ChatGPT, for example, uses tens of thousands of these energy-hungry computer chips in its data centers.
Right. The challenge here is that it's difficult to calculate the total environmental impact of AI systems like ChatGPT because companies don't disclose that information. And it's hard to predict how much AI will scale up in the future and how energy efficient it will become.
That's true, but we do have some estimates. For example, training GPT-3, the predecessor of ChatGPT, on a database of over 500 billion words would have taken 1,287 megawatt-hours of electricity and 10,000 computer chips. That's equivalent to the energy used by 121 homes in the United States for a year.
And the carbon footprint of that training process alone would be around 550 tons of CO2, which is like flying from Australia to the UK 33 times.
Right. And with newer versions of AI models, like GPT-4, being trained on even more data, it is likely that they will consume even more energy.
Definitely. And if the growth of the AI sector follows a similar path to cryptocurrency, it is only going to become more energy intensive over time. Bitcoin mining, for instance, now consumes 66 times more energy than it did in 2015.
Yes, and the energy consumption is so high that China and New York have banned cryptocurrency mining altogether.
So, as we strive for innovation, it's crucial that we find a careful balance between advancing AI and protecting Earth's limited resources.
For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here. Today, we are diving into the topic of generative AI and its ethical use in the classroom.
Today, we are exploring the ethical use of generative AI in the classroom and its potential impact on education and society, while also acknowledging the potential disruptions and job displacement that AI advancements may bring.
Today, we are diving into the topic of generative AI and its ethical use in the classroom. Generative AI has been a hot topic lately, as it has the potential to revolutionize various fields. Tools like ChatGPT, Bing, and Bard have gained popularity and are evolving rapidly. However, industry experts and policymakers are struggling to keep up with these advancements.
That's right. One person who has been at the forefront of these discussions is Dr. Wesley J. Wildman, the co-founder and executive director of CMAC. In February, Dr. Wildman assigned his data, society, and ethics class at Boston University with the task of creating a policy for the use of generative AI tools in academic settings.
One of the challenges Dr. Wildman faced was how to grade assignments when students could potentially be using AI to generate their answers. Additionally, he wanted to establish clear expectations with students about how they can use generative AI to assist their learning without compromising their skills for a future driven by AI.
Absolutely. Dr. Wildman found it important to listen to his students and understand their needs when incorporating generative AI into the curriculum. His students expressed a desire for guidance on how to use this technology without harming their skill set or enabling cheating.
It quickly became evident that a full ban on generative AI was unreasonable. Such a ban would leave students unprepared for their careers after college. To address this, Dr. Wildman's class developed the Generative AI Assistance (GAIA) policy. This policy outlines that students should use tools like ChatGPT to automate mundane tasks, but must think critically about the output of AI and build upon it to create something new for their assignments.
The GAIA policy also provides grading guidelines for faculty members. It encourages them to evaluate how much generative AI is present in an assignment and establish a baseline for assignments that utilize tools like ChatGPT. This policy was quickly adopted by the Faculty of Computing and Data Sciences at Boston University. In an interview on the Crux podcast, Dr. Wildman emphasized the importance of training students to use tools like ChatGPT. While some universities may be tempted to ban generative AI under the umbrella of plagiarism, Dr. Wildman argues that this approach is unrealistic. It's challenging to detect the use of generative AI, and standard plagiarism checks may produce false positives.
Absolutely, Theo. Dr. Wildman encourages universities to reconsider what it means to educate and train students. Just as students are allowed to discuss complex ideas with each other, find resources online, and explore different perspectives, generative AI tools like ChatGPT can be seen as another avenue for discovery. However, students must demonstrate critical thinking beyond the AI's output.
Dr. Wildman draws an interesting parallel between generative AI and historical advancements like writing and the printing press. He believes that just as these advancements transformed the way we think and learn, generative AI has the potential to do the same. It's essential for us to be trained on how to think through the lens of generative AI.
Dr. Wildman also discussed the implications of generative artificial intelligence in K-12 education in a Reddit Ask Me Anything thread. He suggests that we may need to reconsider our teaching methods for helping students learn how to think. Since it is nearly impossible to block artificial intelligence text generation, we need to adapt our pedagogical priorities. He emphasizes that it is not a policy issue, but rather a procedure that teachers need to address by aligning their goals with teaching students how to think.
That's a great point. It's crucial for educators to stay ahead of the curve and reflect on their pedagogical approaches to ensure they are effectively preparing students for the future.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time as we navigate the ethical use of generative AI in the classroom. Adapting policies and teaching methods will help ensure that students are equipped with the skills they need for an AI-driven world. Dr. Wildman raises some important ethical concerns about the use of generative AI in various fields. One concern is the origin of the data used to train these algorithms. While some companies are transparent about their data sources, this lack of transparency raises questions about the potential biases in the data and whether it accurately represents the diversity of human experiences.
That's right. It's crucial to consider the potential biases in the data that is used to train AI algorithms. If the data primarily comes from certain demographics or regions, it may not accurately reflect the needs and experiences of all individuals. This can lead to biased outcomes and perpetuate inequalities.
Another ethical concern is the moderation of content and feedback for these algorithms. Many companies outsource content moderation to third-world countries where labor is cheaper. This raises questions about fair wages and working conditions for the individuals involved in this process.
Absolutely. It's important to ensure that the individuals who are moderating the content are being treated fairly and compensated appropriately for their work. This also raises questions about the responsibility of companies to provide a safe and inclusive environment for content moderation.
And let's not forget about the potential economic disruptions and job displacement that could result from the widespread use of AI. As AI becomes more advanced, it has the potential to automate various tasks and replace human workers. This can lead to job losses and inequality if not properly managed.
That's a valid concern. As AI technology advances, it's crucial for policymakers and organizations to consider the potential impact on the workforce and develop strategies to mitigate any negative consequences. This may involve retraining programs and creating new job opportunities in AI-related fields.
Moving on, Dr. Wildman also highlights the ethical concerns related to making the data and code used in language learning models publicly available. While transparency is generally seen as a positive value, there is also the potential for harm if individuals with malicious intent gain access to such sensitive information.
Absolutely. The misuse of data and code can have serious consequences, including privacy breaches and the spread of misinformation. It's important to strike a balance between transparency and protecting sensitive information to ensure the ethical use of AI technology.
It's crucial to think about the potential impact on vulnerable populations and ensure that the benefits of AI are distributed fairly.
That's right. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, we need to be mindful of its impact on society as a whole. This includes considering the unintended consequences and potential harm that AI can cause if not properly regulated and implemented.
Absolutely. We have a lot to learn about effectively communicating with AI and aligning our goals with its capabilities. It's important to properly query AI systems and ensure that they behave in the way we truly want them to.
And let's not forget about the impact that AI will have on our identities. As our relationship with intelligent machines deepens, our identities will become more entangled with these technologies. It's important to critically reflect on how this will shape who we are as individuals and as a society.
Moving on to the broader applications of AI, Dr. Wildman discusses how AI is already being used in various fields. For example, in the medical field, AI can interpret imaging scans and assist in diagnosing patients. It can also provide remote care options for individuals in rural areas.
That's right. AI has the potential to revolutionize healthcare by improving accuracy and accessibility. It can help bridge the gap between rural and urban areas and ensure that individuals receive the care they need, regardless of their geographical location.
And it's not just in healthcare. AI is also being used for more eccentric purposes, such as replicating a loved one's appearance, voice, and mannerisms. This can be a valuable tool for individuals coping with loss and seeking to maintain a connection with their loved ones.
Machine learning and AI tools are being used to facilitate rituals such as meditation, prayer, confessionals, and funerals. This raises unique ethical considerations and challenges the way we think about spirituality in the digital age.
Wrapping up, it's clear that AI has the potential to both enhance and disrupt various aspects of our lives. It's important for developers, policymakers, and society as a whole to approach the ethical use of AI with caution and consider the potential risks and benefits.
For even more great AI dope, click on this next video here.
What not to share with ChatGPT if you use it for work. Risks associated with using ChatGPT and how to protect data when using it.
She's the baddest of them all. The baddest of them all.
What not to share with ChatGPT if you use it for work. We cover the risks associated with using ChatGPT and how to protect data when using it.
Users should be aware of what this app can do and how it could potentially pose a risk to their privacy.
Let's begin with the risks of hackers infiltrating the application. Despite OpenAI's precautions, there is always a risk of data exposure from bugs and hackers when using a third-party service, and ChatGPT is no exception. In March of 2023, a ChatGPT bug was discovered to have exposed titles, the initial message of new conversations, and payment information from ChatGPT Plus users.
Nader Haneen, a privacy research VP at Gartner, recommends that users think about ChatGPT like a stranger sitting behind you on the bus recording you with a camera phone.
While it's unlikely, certain OpenAI employees have access to user content. On the ChatGPT FAQs page opens in a new tab. OpenAI says user content is stored on its systems and other trusted service provider systems in the US. So while OpenAI removes identifiable personal information before it's de-identified, it exists in raw form on its servers. Some authorized OpenAI personnel have access to user content for 4 explicit reasons, one of them being to fine-tune their models, unless users opt out.
Gary Smith, Fletcher Jones Professor of Economics at Pomona College and author of Distressed Big Data, Data Torturing, and The Assault on Science recommends that users treat ChatGPT prompts as they would anything else they publish online.
Ultimately, it's important for users to understand the risks associated with using ChatGPT and take precautions when using the app. OpenAI only recently announced a new privacy feature, which is a step in the right direction, but users should be cautious with what they share with it.
So remember that anything you say or post in ChatGPT can be seen by anyone in the world, and be careful about what information you share with it.
Let's break it down a bit more. Your conversations are used to train the model, unless you opt out. OpenAI may use your data to improve their models and for other purposes, like aggregating or de-identifying personal information.
In order to protect your data, OpenAI provides an opt-out feature. You can disable data sharing in the form of a toggle setting within your ChatGPT account, or go incognito mode, where conversations are still stored for 30 days but won't be used to train the model.
OpenAI also says it does not share user data to third parties for marketing or advertising purposes.
But you should be aware of what could happen if you use ChatGPT at work. Some large companies like Samsung and Apple have banned the use of ChatGPT due to strict financial regulations about third-party messaging.
If you're thinking of using ChatGPT at work, cautiously proceed and be very careful about what information you share with it.
It can also be tempting to use ChatGPT as a form of therapy, but remember that OpenAI stores your conversations, so try not to give yourself over to the illusion that it's a mental health wizard and blurt out your innermost thoughts, unless you're prepared to broadcast your innermost thoughts to the world.
So if you want to use ChatGPT safely, there are several steps you can take. First and foremost, opt out of sharing conversations with the model. You can do this by navigating to your account name, opening settings, clicking on data controls, toggling off chat history and training, and clearing past conversations by clicking on general and then clear all chats.
Right? So that's the basics on how to protect your data when using ChatGPT.
Baddest of them all. I need something to faze me.
This is a cautionary tale about the integration of AI in the workplace and the risks of relying solely on AI without understanding its limitations.
Today, we're talking about the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, in the workplace, and the potential risks that come with it. Have you ever seen the Disney movie Fantasia? Well, the article we're discussing starts off by referencing a scene from that movie, where Mickey Mouse serves as an apprentice to a powerful sorcerer.
That's right. Mickey is fascinated by the sorcerer's magical powers and wishes he could do magic too. So, when the sorcerer goes to bed, Mickey steals his magic hat and enchants a broom to do his work for him. But things quickly go wrong when Mickey realizes he doesn't know how to control the broom and it floods the workshop.
And this tale is compared to how generative AI has entered the modern workplace. Generative AI, like ChatGPT, can seem like magic. You ask a question and it gives you an instantaneous answer that seems almost too accurate. It can even summarize complex texts in seconds.
Absolutely, but it's important to remember that generative AI is just a tool, not magic. In the case of ChatGPT, it's a large language model machine learning chatbot. It uses statistical models to predict the next word based on the prompt it receives. However, it's not always accurate, and there's a term for when it gives false information: hallucinating.
Right? Hallucinations occur when the AI generates information that is not true or accurate. It can be difficult to distinguish what is true and what is false without expert knowledge in the subject.
And this is where the danger lies. Many people view AI as magic and rely on it without taking its limitations into account. The article mentions a lawyer who used ChatGPT to prepare a court filing and included incorrect information. He claimed he was unaware that the content generated by ChatGPT could be false.
It's a prime example of the consequences of unintended hallucinations. The lawyer may now face sanctions for including false information in the court filing. And it's not just about legal cases. The article also mentions an AI chatbot hosted on the National Eating Disorders Association, an EDA website. Initially designed to help people with eating disorders, it started giving out dieting advice, which can be harmful.
Yes, and what makes this situation even worse is that the NEDA had laid off staff and volunteers who used to run a hotline service for eating disorder support. So when the chatbot started giving out harmful advice, thousands of people were left without a vital resource for their health and well-being.
It goes to show that relying solely on AI without proper oversight and understanding of its limitations can have serious consequences. That's why it's important for organizations and individuals to approach AI integration with caution and best practices in mind.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the comparison made between generative AI and magic. It's easy to be astounded by advanced technology, but we need to remember that it's not magic. It's a tool that operates on probability, not certainty.
That's right. AI can be incredibly powerful and efficient, but it's not infallible. It's important to have expert knowledge and human oversight when utilizing AI tools in the workplace.
Well said. And with that, we'll be moving on to the next section of our discussion: best practices for managing the risks of integrating AI at work.
Organizational leaders are faced with the challenge of integrating AI into their daily workflows without being inundated with false information and bad decisions. So, how can they do this? Well, they need to act like the sorcerer and train their apprentices.
Just like Mickey wanted to have the same skills as the sorcerer, we need to observe and learn from experts as we integrate AI into our work. This way, we can gain experience in a supervised and safe environment. And there are 3 things organizations can do to encourage responsible AI usage.
The first is to build digital literacy. Paul Leonardi and Settle Mealy recommend the 30% rule, which states that you only need 30% fluency and a handful of technical topics to thrive in the digital work world. You don't need to know everything about AI, but you should have a basic understanding of how it works and its limitations.
That's right. Without this knowledge, you might end up like the lawyer who was unaware that AI content could be false. So, it's important to invest time in building your digital literacy.
The second best practice is to always have an expert in the loop. Just like the law firm Allen & Overy, who used generative AI for their lawyers, organizations should have someone who double-checks the work produced by the AI model for tasks that require a high level of accuracy.
Absolutely. Having an expert reviewing the work ensures that any potential errors or inaccuracies are caught before the final output is delivered. It's an important step in maintaining quality and reliability.
And lastly, organizations should embrace boring productivity gains. Instead of automating the entire process like Mickey envisioned, it's more realistic to use AI as a tool to create first drafts or save an hour or 2 of work per week.
That's a great point. By embracing these small productivity gains, organizations can make a big impact when multiplied across all employees. It's about finding practical and achievable goals rather than aiming for huge, unrealistic transformations.
Absolutely. Now, let's move on to discussing Peter Drucker's sage advice on the importance of more accurate information.
In his book, Drucker predicted that the focus of the new information revolution would shift from technology itself to the meaning and purpose of information. It's not just about generating a lot of information quickly, but using technology to produce accurate information that is right for the specific problem at hand.
Exactly. AI tools can certainly help us perform tasks quickly, but we need to be cautious about the desire for speed and efficiency. We must approach generative AI as a tool and have a basic understanding of its capabilities and limits.
Otherwise, we risk being flooded with AI-induced hallucinations, inaccurate information, and unnecessary risk. It's important to be responsible and integrate AI into our workflows cautiously.
Absolutely. It's clear that organizations can't ignore AI, but they need to approach it responsibly and with a focus on building digital literacy, having experts in the loop, and embracing small productivity gains.
Always get the latest AI dope. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks.